Hello, I'm Wallace Allen. This is Empire Talks Back. Hey, having kids does not come with a roadmap, but we have a gentleman here who has a roadmap. I'll introduce you to our guest right after this short break.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back. I'm Wallace Allen. This is Empire Talks Back. Parenting does not come with a roadmap, and fatherhood is probably the harder part. Ladies, slow down. The harder part because that first 9 months, dad doesn't really get overly involved except maybe making some midnight runs to the store for your favorite snacks and things of that sort. But the very first time dad's got to do some diaper work or some stay up late at night or why is the baby crying, then the big deal starts to take place. My guest today, Mr. Ryan Berryman, the CEO of San Bernardino Fatherhood, and I say San Bernardino because that's where the roots are, but his limbs and branches go throughout the Inland Empire. Mr. Ryan Berryman, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you, Mr. Allen.
You're doing well, and you're doing some good too, Ryan. Tell us a little bit about your program. San Bernardino Fatherhood sounds kind of big and expansive, like it covers everything. Do you cover everything? What are the things that you do with your organization?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for asking that, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. I appreciate this. San Bernardino Fatherhood originally created out of my experience in working with the county. I worked with the county for over 20 years in children and family services. That's a really tough area. Try to do some things there, kind of focusing on fathers, because it seemed like that was the underserved, underrepresented demographic within that, arena. So I kind of spread my wings, retired from the county, and started a fatherhood program. Thinking San Bernardino Fatherhood, coming from that, trying to fill that gap and providing resources, services, and advocacy for fathers, with the whole idea of not taking anything away from moms, but also including fathers and having the two come together for the best interests of children and caring for children. So that's kind of what we do. Parenting education for dads, specifically focusing on dads. I have a curriculum called 24/7 Dad, but most recently, one of the areas we started working on is our boot camp for new dads.
Boot camp for new dads.
Yes, boot camp for new dads. So it's a program, and it's been around for about 30 years, and it focuses on dads before, during, and after pregnancy. So where the mother's pregnant, a lot of times dads do not understand, they don't get the information that mother receives, going through all the different programs in maternal health care. So we try to bring these dads who have lived experiences, what we call as our vet dads, and we connect them with those dads who haven't had their baby, kind of give them an idea of what's happening within a 3-hour workshop.
Okay, so we've got the prenatal dad and
Yes.
the postnatal dad.
Correct.
Okay, and we bring in some expert dads or some dads who realize they are not experts, and so they understand the gap and they become helpful. How does that work out?
Yeah, one of the things I've learned is like parenting is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing problem. We never fulfill that area where we can say that we know everything about parenting, myself included. I tell my dads all the time there's only one perfect father, and that father doesn't live here on earth. And so it's an ongoing process of learning. And one of the things we try to do is connect these dads who may have had their baby already, maybe up to 5 or 6 months, and they meet these dads who haven't had their baby or just recently had their baby, given their experiences, good, bad, and sometimes indifferent, of what their experience, so that those other new dads can learn. So it's all a learning process. I call it paying back. It's dads sharing information, and education, and supporting one another. We call it fatherhood is brotherhood.
Is there any special hero experienced dad that you can think of in terms of some advice, a long-term or what do we call it, expert dad has been able to pass on to a newbie?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, a lot of times what we do, I've gotten dads been doing this program, Boot Camp for New Dads, last 3 years now. And we always having dads come back supporting and helping other dads. So I've have dads right now who've had babies up to 3 years old, and they come back and they be a part of this workshop where they can help other dads. One of them was my fatherhood specialist. He had 2 twins, and he came back, and he's part of our program. He's employed with San Bernardino Fatherhood.
2 sets of twins or 1 set of twins?
1 set of twins,
That's enough to help make you be an expert, I'm sure. Okay, what were some of the experiences he was able to share, if you can remember anything of that sort?
Well, his experience is a lot similar to some of the other dads.
Except twice as
well
intense, or am I piling on something that I don't need to?
Well, yeah, the whole ideal of twins is an experience in and of itself, but also he has older children as well. So just to think that every experience in having a child is different, all the experiences are not the same, and I hear that often from dads. Like, for example, his child, he has one who's 12 years old, and then he has twins, and understanding that those experiences are different. And then also just continue to learn after each birth that he's had with his children. So it's an ongoing process, understanding every experience is different. We go over 4 different areas.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the areas we go over is mom's as gatekeeper. But the whole idea that this mother, from day one, she's had this seed and birthing the seed in her womb, continuing to grow. And for example, whatever she eats, this baby feels it and may kick, may move, and she's recognizing that, she's nurturing that, she's bonding with this baby in her womb. And then the day comes where the baby's born, and so she recognizes that in her mothering instinct. And so dad wants to come in, and sometimes moms may not always be, open to that. They may feel like
this is my baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait a minute now.
I'll share this. Sometimes we consider that, it might have this kind of like a mama bear, like, hey, yeah, this is my baby, this is my, and we try to get dads to understand that and be open to that, but still understand that it's important for them to bond as well with their child, whether it's talking to the baby when it's in the womb, singing, recognizing, calling the baby by its name while it's still in the womb, supporting mom, caring for mom, because when they care for mom, they care for that baby in the womb, and we tend to have better outcomes.
So there's some things that the father can do to calm the mama bear down before she turns into mama grizzly.
Yeah.
Okay, by sharing some of the adventures or aspects of her carrying the baby.
Yes.
So how do we do that? What do we do to get him involved with that?
Yeah, one of the things is empathy, understanding mom and where she's coming from, and having a sense of kind of putting herself in place, not just understanding, but also acting upon that. Sometimes just kind of understanding where she's at and being more empathetic regards to her feelings, her emotions, and her moods and things like that. Sometimes even anxieties. Being supportive, helping her out, those kind of things, which is not always easy. It's not always easy, especially with dads, because a lot of times dads, they have other things going on in their life and in their mind and in their body as well.
Yeah, but they're not carrying an extra 6 or 7 pounds around inside their belly that decides to kick on them, and that belly gets hungry in the middle of the night and says, I want to, and I know we're not doing a commercial here, but okay, I'll just say a hamburger. I won't say which hamburger, but I want a hamburger. And dad's a little sleepy, and how many times is he allowed to say, well, do you really need one? Or is he supposed to quickly say, oh, I can't wait to get up and go get you a hamburger? Yeah. What's your advice in those kind of situations?
One of the things, that's what we talk about. We talk about just the whole ideal of being understanding, being supportive of mom. And it's not easy. Like I said, it's not easy because everyone has their own needs as well, own emotions as well, own feelings as well. So, but the biggest and most important thing is an understanding, a recognition, bring about awareness. But the whole idea with these workshops is A lot of times dads do not have that awareness, that recognition, that understanding. So we bring them into these environments just to think about that, because the thinking about it is the first step to change.
So do we advise dad, excuse me, to wait until she asks for a foot rub or to volunteer one?
Yeah, everybody's situation is different. And so, for example, I always encourage them to do whatever they can to be supportive of mom. I was in one workshop and I talked to a dad about that, and I said, tell mom, she's beautiful. He said, man, I told mom she's beautiful. She told me to shut up. And so sometimes those things happen. So everybody's situation is different. So it's hard for me to say outside, because I don't know everybody's situation. I don't know everybody's personality and character and things like that. I just encourage dads just to do the best they can and have understanding.
Ryan, let's take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to ask a few more questions about the proper procedure for dad and see if there's some things that we can do to support your organization as you support these dads who are raising children that are going to be part of the group of kids standing around as we walk down the street and interact with them. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We're talking with Mr. Ryan Berryman of San Bernardino Fatherhood, and we'll be right back.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/act now.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Well, we're back. I'm Wallace Allen. I'm still Wallace Allen, and we are still speaking with Mr. Ryan Berryman of San Bernardino Fatherhood. Ryan, there's some things about being a father that are extremely scary. We find that some fathers disappear right after they find that, oh, mom is pregnant. Some disappear after the baby's born. Some stay, but they have not really involved themselves, and they start to distance themselves because of a lot of issues that sometimes are spoken and sometimes are not.
Yeah.
As society, we are subject to the benefits of good fatherhood and the liabilities of bad fatherhood. How do you gauge what you're doing and the effectiveness of it as you're working with these young men who are, and I say young men, but maybe we find ourselves also dealing with a more mature person who is in their first experience as a father. Has that occurred?
Yeah. How does I gauge? It does occur. It does occur. I believe the statistics show that there's like 28% of homes where there's not a father or father figure living in the home. And it does occur. And one of the things we try to do is just be supportive of dads. We live in a culture where a lot of the resources and services and things of that such are more focused on mothers. And then the other thing that I think is really critical is a lot of our dads didn't have positive role models to emulate. So they don't understand what that looks like. I think a lot of times they want to, but sometimes those resources or sometimes there's resistors out there that hinder them from being able to do that.
If you want to be a good mechanic, you can usually go find some training.
Well,
If you want to be a good basketball player, a good almost anything, in most cases you can find a place to train. But being a father, I can't think of too many places where you can really go and train. What
Correct.
type of resources are you able to refer these young men to?
yeah, we have our own parenting program. We have a parenting program called 24/7 Dad, and I brought a copy of it, and it's been around for like 30 years. And
The
it's
roadmap.
It's one of the road. There's one real roadmap, but this is a pretty good one as well. But this one is called 24/7 Dad, and this is the Fathering Handbook, and it covers areas such as what it means to be a man, father, family history, and what they do in family history, they look at the father and his yesterday's father, today's father, and then his role. And looking at how his role with the father, or the lack thereof, plays a part on his role as being a father today.
And that's a very specific message to a specific father about his specific life and experience.
Correct. Whether good or bad, you know, and how he wants to be a role toward his children, whether good or bad. One of the things a lot of times I hear fathers, especially in like drug treatment facilities or criminal justice systems like the detention centers, a lot of them talk about the absence of a father, or how they use drugs with their fathers when they were at a very young age, or some of the negative things they've seen in the home with their fathers, such as abuse and domestic violence, and how they might want to become a better father. But a lot of times they don't have those tools available to them in knowing how to do that, or even having role models, you know, other positive role models available to them. And so really they don't get it. But in our program, we're able to offer that to them. Like I mentioned, so we address father's family history, what it means to be a man, showing and handling feelings. That's another area that we address in this curriculum. That whole idea of one of the two areas that men often have trouble managing is anger and sometimes grief and loss. So how to deal with that feeling of anger and how to deal with feelings of grief and loss. We talk about men's health, physical health and mental health. We talk about children's growth, discipline. We talk about co-parenting in this curriculum. So there's a number of areas that we address in this curriculum. It's a 12-session curriculum, and we do it 2 hours. And we'll be offering it here in the city of Rialto at the Rialto Unified School District in the month of October.
Okay, so you work with what other types of organizations and agencies to make your presentations?
Yeah, currently with regards to our boot camp for new dads, we're offering that program. It's a 3-hour program workshop, and we offer that workshop in 4 different locations in San Bernardino County. Rialto, the city of Rialto, at the Parent Education Center on Palm, as well as in Fontana. We offer the workshop at St. Mary's Hospital in Apple Valley. We offer it there, as well as Dignity Resource Center in San Bernardino. And it's a 3-hour workshop, and at each of those 4 locations, we offer it once a month.
We've talked about the importance of interacting with experienced fathers and the newbies.
Yes.
What about women? Do we have mothers come in to discuss fatherhood?
Normally, no.
Okay. Once again, we're able
but we
to
do
add
love our
something to the deal.
moms. No, we do love our moms, because our moms are gateways, just like they can be gatekeepers. They're gateways to connecting with fathers and including fathers into the children's
But
lives.
in terms of describing women's feelings as they are pregnant, as they are mothers, younger, and as they go through it, I would imagine that you don't assume the position of being a professional describer of mom's experience. And I'm wondering, putting you on the spot again, when do mothers get to participate in helping fathers become better fathers as far as San Bernardino fatherhood is concerned?
You know, I think that's a gradual process, and it's based on the needs of the fathers. You know, one of the things I recognize is a lot of times fathers are sometimes reluctant to come even to our program, sometimes because they hear moms, and sometimes they might hear from moms that she's nagging. But we try to get.
What? Say it louder.
She's nagging.
Ah,
you know, they
you
come
wanna
into
say
our
that
program.
One more time. Because the fathers are probably not going to say it.
Right, she may, yeah, they may, some of them may receive it that way. But what we try to do is present them into a different, in a different way. Like, you know, the opportunity from them to hear from other dads and understand that their experiences aren't different. There's other people who have similar experiences that they do.
So from your professional position, you are actually resisting my suggestion that women be involved in San Bernardino fatherhood, telling and their experiences to fathers as fathers learn to be fathers.
Let me make it clear. No, I'm not resisting your suggestion. But let me be totally clear. I'm not resisting your suggestion, but there are programs that we haven't been able to reach to, such as Moms as Gatekeeper, and also on our website we have one particular program I've been loving to be able to offer. It's called Mom Understanding Dads. And this particular program focuses on just moms. And sometimes getting moms to understand the importance of dads been included in their children's life. Because sometimes moms, they may have their biases because of their experiences with their dads or father figures, where they may not want the dad to be involved. And that's called the program that I've been wanting to get out. So I'm not resisting your idea.
Very good.
We just haven't gotten there yet.
We're hoping to bring that to the table.
Yes, we haven't gotten there yet because there's so much to do with a small nonprofit organization. So we just haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, so I just heard you say we need more resources. What are some of the needs? What are some of the things that our community can provide that would aid you in your quest?
Yeah, let me just start off regards to funding. You know, I'm always looking for individuals who are passionate. I don't just need workers. I need individuals who are passionate about working with men. We live in a society and a community that is not passionate about working with men. Men willing to help men where they're at. And sometimes that doesn't always look good. Sometimes it's not always easy. So I need individuals who are passionate. I currently have 2 fatherhood specialists now. I have 1 community outreach worker, and I need individuals who are passionate about working with men, about fatherhood, about the whole ideal of bringing a mother and a father together for the benefit of a child. So that's one of the biggest areas I need. And also that would be able to help in doing the work that we do. Marketing is another big area. For example, like I mentioned to you, I may not have mentioned to you, San Bernardino County has one of the highest black infant mortality rates in the state, unfortunately.
Black infants die at a 3 times rate of non-black children.
Correct. Yeah, at a higher rate. And in San Bernardino County is known to be having one of the highest rates in the state, unfortunately. And it should not be. And this is something that's been going on since, I think, '89. And I just think more individuals need to become aware of that, and simply for this reason. You know, I'm a social worker by trade. I'm a master's in social work. I read a lot of literature and a lot of research. And there's a lot of research out there that demonstrates that when fathers are involved in those early stages of a child's life, there are better outcomes for mom and better outcomes for the baby, meaning that it reduces infant mortality when fathers are involved. So that's one of the reasons why we offer the boot camp for new dads, intentionally focusing on our black African American fathers in the county of San Bernardino. However, the program's open for all, but we basically market, recruit, and reach our new and expecting black African American fathers for that reason.
I understand that you are in need of volunteers and resources and certainly money. I note that you're having a fundraising program shortly. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yes, so we have Walter Beasley. This is our 3rd year with Walter Beasley. Walter Beasley has been playing the jazz, smooth jazz saxophonist for 40 years, well known. He's going to be performing at the Steelworkers Auditorium on September 27th. Doors open at 5 o'clock. Tickets are limited, but they're still on sale. Currently, we're about 3/4 full in regards to the ticket sale. We're using that as a fundraiser. I'm going to spend at least 15 minutes addressing the whole, similar to what I mentioned to you about regards to bringing awareness of Black infant mortality. Also, the fact that fathers are an intervention to reducing infant mortality as well as donations. But there at this event with Walter Beasley, there's going to be a number of other guest artists there, such as Doc Martin. It's going to be Tom Brown. Tom Brown, he'll be playing there. These are well-known jazz artists, as well as Derek Cannon, he'll be performing as well. And then we're going to give a special tribute to Father of Today, Mr. Ronnie Laws, a special tribute to Ronnie Laws, who will be in attendance.
Very good. Okay, and how can we get tickets for that? Can you give your number? And I'm sure that we'll have that on the screen, let people know how to get those tickets. And in general, get in touch with San Bernardino Fatherhood to be supportive, maybe volunteer, and provide some level of resource.
Yes, you can go on sbfatherhood.com as a website. My phone number is 909-567-9508.
We don't have much time left, but we do have time. I see you've got a goodie bag there next to you. You want to start pulling stuff out and tell us what it's for, what it's all about?
Yeah, this is a goodie bag that we present to all our dads who attend our workshop, and it has a number of different items such as wipes, has onesies, has clothes.
That stuff out, let us see it.
Oh yeah, you know, we give these little onesies to the dads, and
what is that?
This is the onesies for the baby. You know, they put on the clothes and everything.
Okay.
And this is some other clothes items. We have diapers in here, little stuffed animals, and diapers and wipes. We have a carrier. I don't know if you ever used this before, Mr. Allen, but it's a baby carrier. Let me see if I can get it out.
This is this shoulder and this arm. That's
it's a baby carrier. We got a mom right here.
Okay.
But right here, it's a dad, and where dad carries the baby.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps with that bond, that attachment, and just enjoying his baby. Not just mom, but both of them. Again, the two becoming one. And then there's diapers and wipes. And we always provide material as well. Material, we have a card, different areas where we offer the boot camp for new dads, information in regards to our organization, as well as Dads Can Help. And this has to do with breastfeeding. And then we also, this is one of my favorite books. It's a book for dad that he can read to his baby called Dad, I Need You. It's a coloring book, reading book. He can read it to the baby when the baby's
Ryan,
in the womb.
I hate to interrupt you, but this is one of the quickest half hours in the world. We've got your phone number. I advise you people, participate, get involved, because it's not just the children's future, this is your future. We will share these children on the streets every day. So we want to be sure they get the best start so that they can be the best that they can be, so that we can make the world a better place. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. Thank you guys for spending your time with us. I know you could have spent it somewhere else. It wouldn't have been better, but you could have spent it somewhere else. God bless you. Thank you. See you next time.